Welcome to another deep dive, and this time we're taking a look at high-performance computing. That's right, we're cracking open AMD's Q3 2024 earnings call transcript. It's like a roadmap to the future of, well, pretty much all tech. And get this, AMD hit a record $6.8 billion in revenue.
Wow.
But we're going to go beyond the numbers. We're going to figure out what this all means for you, even if you don't know much about tech.
Yeah, it's amazing how AMD's success kind of ripples out and affects all of us in ways we probably don't even realize.
Exactly. It's not just about chips and servers. It's about how our digital world works and how it's changing. So let's start with AMD's data center business. They saw revenue more than double compared to last year, reaching a whopping $3.5 billion.
That's insane. This just shows you how much we need computing power these days, behind everything from cloud services to the rise of AI.
Yeah, and speaking of AI, get this, over 1.5 million of AMD's EPYC CPUs are powering Meta's platforms.
Really?
Yeah, so every time you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, you're actually interacting with the power of EPYC.
It's mind-blowing how much AMD has captured the enterprise market.
Yeah.
We're seeing giants like Airbus, Daimler Truck, and even HSBC relying on EPYC.
Yeah.
It seems like AMD is becoming the go-to for a modern data center.
Yeah, it's a big shift in the industry for sure. And then there's AI, which is just making that data center demand even more intense. AMD's data center GPU revenue is expected to reach over $5 billion in 2024. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, GPUs are specialized processors designed to handle all the crazy calculations needed for AI. They're like super-powered brains.
Yeah, they're essential for AI to work.
Exactly. And AMD's Instinct GPUs, especially the MI300X, are leading this AI revolution.
Yeah.
You know, companies like Microsoft are using them for their Copilot services. And Meta has deployed them on a massive scale.
Yeah, Meta even uses MI300X exclusively to run their most demanding Llama 400B frontier model. That's some serious AI power right there.
It really is. It's like the brain behind some of the most advanced AI we have right now. But it's not just about the hardware. Software plays a huge role, too.
Oh, absolutely.
AMD's ROCm platform is like the conductor of an orchestra, helping developers use the full potential of these GPUs.
Right. Without the right software tools, even the most powerful hardware can't do much. AMD's focus on ROCm is really attracting developers and building a whole ecosystem around it.
And to boost their AI presence even more, AMD acquired ZT Systems. They specialize in AI infrastructure.
Ah, that's a smart move.
Yeah, by bringing that expertise in-house, AMD can build complete AI systems, not just chips.
That gives them so much more control over performance and makes it easier to get their products into data centers.
Exactly. And for the average person, that translates to better, faster AI solutions. Think about it. AI is already used in everything from shopping recommendations to traffic optimization to medical treatments.
Oh, for sure. And the potential is only growing. As AI systems get more sophisticated, they can tackle even bigger problems like climate change, healthcare challenges, and even poverty.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless. And it's not just about massive data centers. AMD is bringing AI capabilities to everyday devices like laptops and desktops. Their Ryzen AI processors can actually learn how you use your computer and optimize its performance. So whether you're browsing the web, editing videos, or even just checking email, things will run smoother and faster.
It's amazing to see how AI is becoming so integrated into our lives. It's not just a fancy tech term anymore. It's becoming fundamental to how every computing device works.
Yeah, it really is a new era. Now, despite all the AI excitement, AMD's gaming revenue dipped a bit this quarter, mainly due to console inventory adjustments.
Right.
But before you panic and sell your PlayStation, this is most likely a temporary thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a small bump in the road.
Exactly, because we have some really exciting things on the horizon, like the PS5 Pro, which will be powered by a new AMD chip.
That's going to be huge.
And let's not forget AMD's next-generation Radeon GPUs based on the RDNA 4 architecture. They promise some mind-blowing graphics and immersive gaming experiences.
It sounds like
Think of it like leveling up to a whole new world of gaming, with AI features that can adapt to your style, create more realistic characters, and just push the boundaries of what's possible.
the potential of AI in gaming is insane, and we're just starting to see what it can do. The next generation of consoles and GPUs are going to be game changers.
For sure. And before we finish this part of our deep dive, let's talk about embedded systems. These are the brains inside things like cars, airplanes, and industrial equipment. Anything with a computer chip that isn't a PC or a smartphone.
The unsung heroes of tech, for sure.
Exactly. And AMD's Versal family of adaptive SoCs are a great example of how they're meeting the demand for flexible solutions in this space. These chips are like customizable building blocks that can be tailored for all sorts of applications, from aerospace to industrial automation.
That's impressive.
And speaking of aerospace, AMD's Versal socks are even being used by SpaceX in their latest broadband satellites.
Wow, so AMD tech is helping to connect people from space. That's really cool. AMD's commitment to innovation and pushing the boundaries of what's possible is clear. This idea of adaptive computing is going to be crucial. As technology keeps evolving, being able to adapt and reconfigure hardware on the fly will be essential.
Yeah, you're right. Flexibility is key. So we've covered a lot in this part of our deep dive, from data centers to AI, from PCs to gaming consoles, and even satellites in space. AMD is making waves everywhere.
AMD's on a roll, but the tech world, it's kind of like surfing. You got to be agile and ready for that next big wave. And that's what we're going to look at now, the competitive landscape AMD is facing.
Right, they're not alone in this race. We're talking about going up against giants like Intel and NVIDIA. It's got to be intense.
It's like a high-stakes chess game. Every move counts. But here's the interesting thing. Even with this rivalry, sometimes you see collaboration. AMD and Intel actually teamed up to create this by86 ecosystem advisory group.
Oh, and those two working together, that's like Coke and Pepsi sharing their secret formulas.
Right. It's pretty wild. But it shows that even fierce competitors can work together, especially when it comes to the health of the tech world as a whole. The by86 architecture, which powers most computers, needs to keep evolving to keep up with the demands of AI and all these new technologies.
So they're putting aside their differences for the greater good. But let's not forget about NVIDIA, especially in the data center GPU market. How's AMD holding up against them?
NVIDIA's been the king of GPUs for a while, especially for AI.
Yeah.
But AMD's Instinct MI300X is a real contender now. It's got comparable performance, and in some areas, it's even better than NVIDIA, like memory capacity and bandwidth.
So it's a real David versus Goliath situation. But instead of a slingshot, AMD has cutting-edge tech. And they're planning to release a new generation of Instinct GPUs every year.
Wow, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Shows how determined they are to catch up and maybe even surpass NVIDIA.
Yeah, they're not messing around. But it's not just about having the most powerful hardware, right?
Got it. Software is crucial, too.
Like having a skilled driver for a fast car.
Exactly. AMD gets that.
Yeah.
And their ROCm platform is getting more popular. It's becoming a real alternative to NVIDIA's CUDA.
So they're building their own ecosystem. Okay, so AMD is shaking things up in the AI world. But we can't forget about their core business, CPUs. They've been taking market share from Intel, especially in data centers.
Their EPYC CPUs have been a game changer. They offer a great balance of performance, efficiency, and cost, which is exactly what cloud providers and big companies are looking for. And their new Zen 5 Turin family release is going to solidify that position even more.
It seems like AMD is making a play to be a leader in both CPUs and GPUs. But even with all of this success, they must face some serious challenges, right?
Of course, the semiconductor industry is unpredictable. Demand for chips can change quickly, which affects revenue and profits, like we saw with that dip in AMD's gaming revenue.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster ride.
Exactly. Got to be prepared for those sudden drops.
Yeah.
Another challenge is the cost of competing in AI. Developing those advanced GPUs and software requires massive investment.
It's an arms race. Everyone's trying to stay ahead.
Right, and AMD has to be strategic with their resources. And then there's the global landscape. Politics and trade relationships can change overnight, affecting supply chains.
It adds a whole other layer of complexity.
AMD needs to be ready for anything and have backup plans in place.
So many factors to consider.
It's a challenging environment, that's for sure. But AMD has proven they can adapt. And the way things are going, they're well positioned to be a leader in the future of computing.
It's fascinating to see how AMD is taking advantage of this convergence of high-performance computing and AI. It's going to change the tech world as we know it and affect pretty much every part of our lives. Okay, so we've seen how well AMD is doing financially, their battles with the big players in tech, and their incredible progress in AI and high-performance computing. But now let's take a step back and think about the bigger picture. You know what I mean? The wider implications of this whole tech revolution.
Yeah, like we're at the beginning of something huge, with amazing possibilities, but also some potential risks. As AI gets more and more integrated into our lives, we really need to make sure it's being used responsibly.
It's kind of like discovering a powerful new energy source, right? We got to handle it carefully. So what are some of the big challenges we need to think about as AI evolves?
Well, one that comes to mind is jobs. As AI systems get better at doing things humans used to do, we need to make sure workers aren't left behind.
Right. It's like the Industrial Revolution all over again. When machines replaced a lot of manual labor, we need to learn from history and plan ahead.
Exactly. We need to invest in education and training. so people can develop the skills they need for an AI-powered world. And we might even need to consider things like universal basic income to support those whose jobs are most affected.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's not just about preventing negative consequences, right? It's also about making sure everyone benefits from AI. How can we use AI to tackle big problems like poverty, inequality, or even climate change?
I mean, imagine AI optimizing energy grids to be more efficient, or an AI-powered healthcare system that personalizes treatment plans and catches diseases early, regardless of income or location.
Those are some really powerful examples. It's like having a super tool to help us solve some of humanity's toughest challenges.
It really is.
But to get there, we need governments, businesses, and individuals all working together.
Absolutely. We need open discussions to develop ethical guidelines for AI. Things like transparency, accountability, and responsible innovation need to be priorities.
Couldn't agree more. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into AMD's earnings call, it's obvious that their success is part of this larger AI revolution. They're creating the powerful technology that will shape our future.
But it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the choices we make. We have a responsibility to use AI to build a better future for everyone. A future where technology helps us solve problems, creates opportunities, and makes the world a more just and equitable place.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AMD and the future of computing. We hope you learned something new and are thinking about the role AI will play in all our lives. Remember, we create the future together